What's up, guys? My name's Marissa. That's Ed, and we are Distant Critics.
Today we got a good one for you guys. We're talking about the movie The Wild Robot. Now, before we get into it, we want to let you guys know that this might contain some spoilers in the film. So if you haven't seen the movie, go ahead and check it out and then come back to this video so we can discuss what you guys think about this film in the comments down below. Now, without further ado, Marissa, can you tell us about the plot?
After a shipwreck, an intelligent robot called Roz is stranded on an uninhabited island. To survive the harsh environment, Roz bonds with the island's animals and cares for an orphaned baby goose. Ed, this movie has left me speechless. This movie is, to me, a cinematic masterpiece. The music, the animation, the colors, the sounds, everything just bundled up together. It's just like a fresh batch of flowers or baked milk cookies, like whatever you can possibly think of. Like, this movie was just absolutely beautiful and breathtaking. So many messages in this movie too. So many things. It in the preview, it kind of looks like as if it's kind of geared to a kids movie, right? But truthfully, I think this movie is geared for adults, because this movie literally is about self-discovery, kindness, embracing change, stuff like that just really like mashes up, and it's like what we deal with as adults to this day, right?
No, yeah, I mean, you hit on a lot of things right there, and I completely agree with all those sentiments. This movie is absolutely beautiful. I would honestly be surprised if it didn't pick up some type of award at the end of the year for animation, because the animation was like next tier god level. It was so beautiful. Even the opening scene, where we first see, I think they were beavers or something like that, and then like you pan
The
out.
otters.
Yeah, the otters, and it was just coming straight out of her eye. You'll understand that more once you see the film, but I really enjoyed this film in the fact that the animation is very, very much different than the cookie cutter stuff that we kind of get from Disney. DreamWorks doesn't really come out with many projects, one every few years or something like that, but it really felt like they took their time on this film. There's just like layers and layers of animation and styles on top of each other. So it was really nice to just get that break from the Disney stuff.
It was like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
Something
definitely.
different.
Everything about this film was just so beautiful. The colors, like you said, the sound, just the little tiny details in those things, and the messages were definitely impactful. I took a lot from them. Just finding your place in the world, all those things that, like you said, even as adults, we still struggle with, and I think this movie resonate with kids as well.
Yeah, I absolutely think you're right for both parts. There was a couple scenes though, like with animal, like the possum part where it's like, oh, I have 7 kids. And then it
Yes.
goes
Yeah,
I was like, wait.
they had a little bit of dark humor in here that will just go over your head if you didn't even like realize the one part where like the robot is teaching the goose how to fly and just shoots it in the air, and then it gets taken by a hawk. I was like, yo, what the heck?
Yes.
Like, out of nowhere type of jokes. And Transformers 1 has similar types of jokes just like that one, but this one, I just felt like they hit it in a whole different ballpark, and it was such a really, really good film. And one thing that I looked at and didn't even realize, that this cast is completely loaded with people. Like, you got Catherine O'Hara, Lupita Nyong'o, Pedro Pascal, Stephanie Sue, and Mark Hamill. All those people are super big hitters in Hollywood, and to have them all in this film, I think all of their voice acting also played really well with kind of what they look like as animals.
You talking about like the comparison between them?
Yeah, because, well, like, all right, so I have a huge problem when it comes to animations and like people casting big name people and they just don't fit the part. Like, when Kevin Hart does animation films, you can clearly tell it's Kevin Hart, and you can't even like focus on the character or like whatever it is, because you just hear Kevin Hart's voice. Same thing with Dwayne the Rock Johnson. in Super Pets, he's supposed to be Crypto the dog, but all I hear is The Rock. When I'm looking at this film, I clearly know Pedro Pascal, Lupita Nyong'o, but those characters, I feel like the characters come out more than the voices themselves. And I don't know if that has to do with the writing or like maybe the pitch and stuff like that when it comes to the voices, but I just felt like the character with the actor, voice acting, I thought that those were all really great qualities in this film.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I definitely think that you should have that difference between a character and the actor, voice actress, voice actor itself. But back to the movie too, like I said, I can't describe how beautiful that this movie is. This is definitely a movie that you're gonna want to rewatch and maybe even watch it again and again and again. It's gonna be one of those movies. Like, I cannot wait for it to come out on streaming. I can't wait for it to come out so I can see it whenever I want to. And I may go see it again in theaters. Like, that's how beautiful it was. My eyes were watery almost the whole entire movie, and then tears fell on certain scenes. And I kind of say that with quite a bit of movies too. I kind of like cry. I'm a little crybaby sometimes. But this movie, it really tugs on those heartstrings of your emotions and really shows like just overcoming these obstacles that we face in life. And this movie just portrayed that beautifully between animals and a robot. And then in a world of prey and predator, like, it shows that you don't always have to be a predator and you don't always have to be a prey. Like, we can be equal and we can go ahead and work together and become one as like a unity type thing. You know what I mean?
That's a really good point, and that's a really strong message in this film. I saw it again today, so this is my second time seeing it.
You did?
I did, and the emotions were still there. Don't feel bad about it, because man, I wouldn't say sobbing, but the tears were coming for sure. Pause. But they were falling. Very, very emotional film. And like I said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if this movie gets an award later on, when the Academy Awards and all those things come out. But for me, I'm personally putting this as my favorite animated movie that came out this year. And I know Inside Out 2 came out, Transformers 1 came out, and a few others. This is definitely my top film of the year so far, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. This is definitely a recommend for myself. But Marissa, I want to know what you have to say about this film.
Ed, I'm not even going by the year. I'm going all-time favorite. I will say Elemental is still my number one because I just love Elemental, but this is gonna be my number two of all-time favorite animated movie.
That's deep.
So this is a highly recommend.
Absolutely. We gotta recommend from Marissa, from myself, but more importantly, we want to know what you guys have to say about this film. If you liked it, if you didn't, whatever your thoughts are, leave them in the comments down below.
And if you have any other suggestions on any movies you'd like us to review, please leave a comment down below so we can turn your idea into reality.
And thank you guys so much for joining us today on Distant Critics.
Thanks.